I'm Ria, owner and cosmetic nurse injector here at Plumpitupp, and today we're going to talk all about Morpheus8. I want to start this off by telling you exactly what Morpheus8 is via the internet. It is a minimally invasive device for fractional coagulation of subcutaneous tissue. Morpheus8 provides an interchangeable portfolio of microneedling tips to deliver customizable fractional treatments. I want you to scrap that and listen to this video. Morpheus8 at Plumpitupp is by far the best treatment you could possibly get. Scrap everything you've read about it on the internet except for the good stuff and listen up because you need to sign up for this treatment ASAP. It is radiofrequency microneedling, and what that means is you're going to get every single result you could have possibly imagined. However, it does take a little bit of work. Radiofrequency microneedling has been around for a long time, but Morpheus8 is one of those newer technologies that is giving results really quickly and with minimal social downtime. I love Morpheus8 for all of my clients, for aging populations, for younger clientele, for those with acne, for pigmentation, darker skin tones, lighter skin tones, the neck wrinkles, the sagging jowls, the submental fat. The list goes on and on and on and on. But why should you specifically get Morpheus8? Because you're going to end up getting less treatments down the road if you start Morpheus8 earlier on. And it all depends on which clinic and which practitioner you're going to, because it's all about the settings. So Morpheus8 works by delivering radiofrequency energy through these gold-plated needle tips into the subdermal layers of the skin. It's an incredible technology because you can adjust the depth of penetration and also the amount of energy being executed through the needle tips. But let's talk about what everybody's always asking. How painful is it really? This is where it comes down to the numbing cream and who's applying it for you. When I do Morpheus8, I'm doing the full face and the full neck, and that's for every single one of my clients. When we're applying numbing cream, you might guess it's going to your full face and your full neck. It blows my mind to hear that some people are treating areas without any numbing cream at all. There's also more elevated levels of numbing that you can get done that may be offered at certain clinics. Things like injectable numbing, like injectable lidocaine. You can be getting nerve blockers. You can even be getting Pronox or laughing gas. I find that those extra levels of numbing may not really be required when you're doing appropriate settings for that skin type and when you're leaving the numbing cream on long enough. The numbing cream we use at Plumpitupp is medical grade prescription numbing cream, but also it's in a base similar to petroleum jelly. So it's not being super melted down into the skin and it's not just sitting on the top layer. It's really being penetrated and giving you that numbing effect you're looking for. We keep it on for at least 45 minutes to an hour, which is such an ideal amount of time because you're getting true numbing. We wipe that right off as soon as the time is up and we're ready to go with the treatment. There's no waiting period to let that numbing cream wear off. The actual treatment itself is not just a walk in the park, but it is quite comfortable, especially if you've gotten other injectables done. The results make the entire treatment super worth it. And in other areas, you don't even feel it at all. Places like the neck or areas with high fat or high tissue, it feels like a very seamless and easy treatment. So what sorts of results are you going to see with Morpheus8? Well, the pretty simple ones are going to be reduction in fine lines and wrinkles. We're going to see some lifting and tightening of the skin. We're going to see some breakdown of excess fat tissue. This for me is one of my favorite aspects of Morpheus8. For clients who have a larger fat pocket under the chin or they're having a lot of bulkiness in their cheeks, Morpheus8 is a great way to tackle those areas in a very specific manner. We can adjust the depth very precisely as well as the amount of radiofrequency energy. The greater the energy, the greater the breakdown of the fat, especially when it's in the appropriate layer. That's why when we're treating underneath the jawline, we're putting some extra numbing cream there so I can really go to town on that area because we want to give you that sharp jawline you're looking for and that tight chin. Other things that Morpheus8 is targeting is things like acne and acne scarring. It's so incredible because we are allowing the coagulation of the blood and the bacteria to be demolished with the technology that Morpheus8 is using. And as well, because we're penetrating the skin on a surface level or on a deeper level, depending on the area, we're actually treating acne scarring as well too. So we can treat on active acne, we can treat on cystic acne, and we can treat on acne that has gone but left a mark. It's really incredible because even as you are older in age, if you've had a lot of sun damage, those acne scars tend to get a lot darker. So when you're able to reverse that with Morpheus8, it's really an easy answer to a big problem. Now let's talk about why I always treat the neck. The neck is one of those areas that is always ignored in our younger years because we never think about it. We do our skincare from our forehead to our jawline and we stop. But when I talk to my mature clients or think about the problems that a lot of my mature clients come in with, it almost 100% of the time involves their necks or their décolletage. With Morpheus8, I'm always treating those areas because we want to induce more collagen production and we want to tighten that skin. We don't want those deep set necklines, the loose skin that appears, or that bulking up of the skin in the middle of the neck. That is so inevitable in our generation, especially because of our intense phone use, our huge use of computers, and all of the technology that just makes us sit like this. That's going to give you lots and lots of lines, and maybe you are a fan of them, but if you're not, Morpheus8 is definitely going to help you reduce the appearance of that. Morpheus8 is so incredible because not only can it be used for all of the things I just discussed, but it can be used for so many other reasons. When we're talking about other areas of the body, there are so many places that Morpheus8 shines as a superstar. You can target excess cellulite on the backs of your legs with Morpheus8. You can tackle loose skin around the stomach after a pregnancy. You can even target your breasts if you're looking to tighten the skin at the top and lift. You can target any scarring, whether that be surgical, self-harm, or through just physical activity injuries. There are so many reasons that Morpheus8 can be a benefit, and it's not just vanity. Let's talk more in depth about how Morpheus8 works. When we look at the handpiece of Morpheus8, we love how easy it is to use from a user experience. But as a patient, it's also really important to understand why it's doing what it's doing. From the top of the Morpheus8 device, we would insert a fresh needle head for every single client. In those needle heads, there are 3 different types. There's a resurfacing head, there is a regular Morpheus tip, which is 24 needles, and a prime tip, which is 12 needles. The resurfacing tip on the Morpheus8 is a shorter depth of needles, and it's still a 24 needle tip face. And it's also fixating that RF delivery. So what that means is that it's delivering RF energy on a much superficial or shallower plane of the skin. That's why it's called a resurfacing tip. It's doing a lot for texturized skin, or when you see more mature clients with those really fine lines that are kind of just everywhere, resurfacing is a great idea for that. A third person who can use resurfacing tip is someone with a lot of acne scarring, as we discussed before. The second type of Morpheus8 head is the regular tip, which is the 24 tip. It's my most commonly used Morpheus8 head, and that's because it works for every single client. It's this exact size that you're looking at here, and as you can see, it's covering a lot of surface area on my face. So when I'm treating a lot of underneath the jaw, it allows me to really get in there, as well as the neck, and that allows for faster treatment as well as a greater surface area getting that RF delivery. It's great in all client types, especially when they have larger surface areas, so the body, the arms, the legs, that sort of stuff. The third type of needle head is our prime needle head, and that's a 12-pin tip. So it's about half the size of what you see here and more narrow. I really like using the 12-pin tip on my older clients or those who have really tiny areas that they want to target. That would be things like raising the brows, if someone has a really droopy eyelid, if they have really fine lines that they'd like to target underneath their eyes, smaller spaces between their lips and their nose where they have smoker lines, or even just generally a smaller framed person. They're going to really benefit from the prime needle tip because we can really get into those nooks and crannies. So now we've talked about all the amazing things that Morpheus8 can do for you, but what does it look like after you've gotten the treatment done? I have never been more impressed with how quickly you can recover from a treatment. Morpheus 8 will make you extremely red and super bumpy immediately after your session. But it's so crazy how quickly that redness and that bumpiness goes away on most skin types. The majority of my clients are messaging me just a few hours after their session and asking why their redness has gone. It's such an invasive and intensive treatment that they're surprised with how quickly they've recovered. Sometimes those little bumps will linger on the neck, and that's a really normal way for your body to respond. The skin is quite thin, and if you're using a high energy, it's almost like a chicken skin type of result for at least a few days, and that's super normal. Same with the forehead, because that's a very thin area to treat. It's very, very, very imperative to be very sun conscious after getting Morpheus 8. We provide you with an incredible post-procedure kit here at Plumpitupp, where you get a wash, a moisturizer or recovery balm, and a sunscreen. It should last you about 7 to 10 days, and you want to continue using SPF, ideally for the rest of your life, but realistically for 2 full weeks after getting Morpheus 8 done. That means you're staying out of the sun, you can go on walks, but making sure to wear a hat and to reapply your sunscreen every 2 hours or every 80 minutes if you're sweating or in water. Other things like going to events or wearing makeup or going to the gym, I would typically just wait about 24 to 48 hours, but of course it depends on your individual anatomy and what results you are intending to get because it determined how strong your treatment was. Most people are benefiting from 1 to 3 treatments of Morpheus 8, but doing this treatment at least 1 to 2 times a year is going to give you incredible results and give you even better results in the long run because of that collagen development. That's everything about Morpheus 8. I could talk for hours and hours about this treatment because I am absolutely obsessed. The InMode platform has so many incredible treatments and we have lots of them at Plumpitupp. So we can't wait to see you here for your Morpheus 8 treatment and we're ready to plump you up.